It was a bustling, bright morning at Nino Ano International Airport. Travelers hurried about, eager to catch their flights, as announcements echoed and luggage wheels hummed along the floors. Marie moved swiftly through the gate area, her crisp uniform making her presence unmistakable. Her navy blue blazer was impeccably pressed, and the golden insignia on her lapel shimmered under the lights as she assisted passengers with their pre-flight queries. Marie had dedicated over a decade to the airline, starting as a flight attendant before climbing the ranks to her current position. Now, as a quiet yet commanding CEO, she often worked behind the scenes, but occasionally donned her old uniform to reconnect with her crew and passengers. Today was one of those rare days. At the boarding gate, her polite demeanor and warm smile stood out, especially against a nearby group of wealthy passengers lingering near the VIP lounge. Their laughter carried above the terminal's hum. One pointed at Marie as she passed, sneering, "See that flight attendant? So eager to please. Must be desperate for tips." Another chuckled. Marie heard their remarks, but stayed composed. Years of experience had taught her the art of grace under fire. Her focus remained on ensuring a safe and comfortable journey for every passenger. The group soon boarded the flight, their entitlement on full display. They brushed off instructions from the crew, demanding immediate attention at every turn. As the lead flight attendant for the day, Marie stayed alert, ensuring their behavior didn't disrupt others. The group's antics escalated once on board. One of the men snapped his fingers at a younger attendant serving drinks. "Hey, get your supervisor. I need more ice for my champagne," he said dismissively. Marie stepped in with her trademark calm. "Sir, is there something I can assist you with?" The man glanced her way, his disdain evident. "Yeah, get me someone who can actually speak proper English," he retorted, laughing with his companions. The young crew member behind Marie appeared flustered, but Marie placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Turning back to the man, she responded smoothly, "Of course, sir. Let me handle that for you." As she walked away to fetch the ice, she overheard a muttered comment. "What do you expect from a Filipina flight attendant? They're all the same, just here to serve." Marie clenched her jaw, but kept moving, refusing to let their words shake her. Little did they know, this was no ordinary flight, and a powerful lesson awaited them. As the plane cruised smoothly through the skies, most passengers settled into their seats, engrossed in meals or scrolling through their devices. But in business class, the group of wealthy passengers seemed determined to keep making their presence known. One of the men, sporting a flashy watch that gleamed under the cabin lights, leaned back and smirked. "Hey, stewardess," he called out loudly, snapping his fingers once more. His voice disrupted the peaceful atmosphere, causing uneasy glances from nearby passengers. Marie approached with her usual calm demeanor. "Yes, sir. How can I assist you?" The man gestured dismissively at his meal tray. "This chicken is dry. Don't you have anything better? Or is this really the best you people can manage?" His tone dripped with condescension, and the phrase, "you people," hung in the air like an insult. Marie's expression remained composed, but a flicker of annoyance crossed the face of a passenger seated nearby. "I'm sorry to hear that, sir," she replied steadily. "Let me see what I can do to improve your meal experience." Another member of the group, a woman dressed in high-end designer clothing, chimed in. "And while you're at it, maybe tell whoever designed this plane to upgrade the seats. They're nowhere near as luxurious as I expected." She smirked. "Oh, wait. You do understand what I'm saying, don't you, dears?" The group erupted into laughter as if they'd made the most clever joke. Marie stood firm, her hands clasped neatly in front of her. "I assure you, ma'am, we take all passenger feedback seriously," she said, her tone polite yet unwavering. "Is there anything else you'd like assistance with?" The woman rolled her eyes. "Just don't mess up my order like last time." As Marie walked away to fulfill their requests, she could hear the group's mocking laughter trailing behind her. "Why do they even hire these people?" one man sneered. "Cheap labor, I guess." Unbeknownst to the group, other passengers were paying close attention. A middle-aged couple exchanged uncomfortable glances, while a young man seated across the aisle discreetly recorded the scene on his phone. In the galley, Marie took a moment to collect herself. She wasn't new to dealing with rude passengers, but something about their blatant disrespect struck a chord. Still, she reminded herself of an important lesson learned early in her career. Composure is power. "Are you all right, ma'am?" one of the junior attendants asked hesitantly. Marie offered a reassuring smile. "I'm fine. Let's stay focused on ensuring all our passengers are cared for." Though her demeanor remained steady, deep down, she knew their arrogance wouldn't go unchecked for long. Life had a way of teaching lessons when they were least expected. The flight had reached a calm cruising altitude, and the cabin lights were slightly dimmed as passengers settled into their activities. Marie was making her rounds, ensuring that everyone's needs were met, when suddenly, a loud thud echoed from the business class section. One of the men from the group, the one with the flashy watch, had collapsed in the aisle. His friends shot up from their seats, panic etched across their faces. "Somebody help," one of them shouted frantically. "He's not breathing." The cabin erupted into chaos as passengers craned their necks to see what was happening. The flight attendants quickly moved into action, but Marie was the first to reach him. She knelt beside the man, her voice calm yet authoritative. "Sir, can you hear me?" she said gently, patting his shoulder. The man's face was pale, beads of sweat rolling down his forehead. One of his companions, clearly panicked, yelled, "Do something. Don't just sit there." Marie ignored the outburst and focused on assessing the situation. She checked his pulse and noted his shallow breathing. Years of training had prepared her for this exact moment. "Call for medical assistance on board and bring the first aid kit," Marie instructed one of her junior attendants. She then turned to the group. "Is he on any medication? Does he have any medical conditions we need to know about?" The group exchanged frantic looks, their earlier arrogance now replaced by fear. "I don't know," one stammered. "He's never mentioned anything like this." The cabin grew tense as passengers whispered among themselves. Despite the rising panic, Marie remained steady. Moments later, an oxygen mask was secured over the man's face, and she carefully adjusted the flow. As she worked to stabilize him, a passenger from economy class stepped forward. "I'm a doctor. Can I assist?" Marie looked up and nodded gratefully. "Thank you. Please." The doctor knelt beside her and began examining the man. After a few moments, he looked at Marie, clearly impressed. "You've done everything right so far. He's lucky to have someone so well trained on board." The words carried a weight that wasn't lost on the group of friends. Their eyes darted between Marie and their unconscious companion, realizing that the flight attendant they had mocked might have just saved his life. As Marie and the doctor worked together to stabilize the passenger, the cabin fell silent. Passengers who had been whispering now watched in quiet admiration. The professionalism and calm on display were undeniable. Eventually, the man's condition stabilized. Though still pale, he was breathing steadily, his head propped up with pillows Marie had carefully arranged. "Thank you," one of his friends said to Marie, his voice trembling. The arrogance from earlier was gone, replaced by genuine humility. "I don't know what we would have done without you." Marie offered a small nod, her expression soft but composed. "It's my responsibility to ensure every passenger's safety." As she adjusted her uniform and prepared to walk away, Marie caught the eye of another passenger who had witnessed everything. The man gave her a subtle thumbs up, and she responded with a faint smile. But little did anyone know, the surprises of the day weren't over just yet.